Hello, 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 welcome everybody. Dear viewers, we'll be starting shortly here. I'm not gonna put up the timer again because this game is about to launch. We've already done the first turn and reloaded as is tradition, basically meaning we're gonna be starting here within 1 minute. We have the absolute top match of the tournament so far, and we're not even in the playoffs yet, but we've got the three best players from both teams matching up against each other in this one. This is going to be absolutely fantastic, hopefully, but it might also just as well be somebody getting caught off guard here. It's very late at night or very early in the morning for some of these guys, so I would definitely not be surprised if somebody ended up having a bit of a lapse in judgment here at a crucial point early on, so to speak. But all right, then we've all assembled for the reload. We're just missing one more check mark before we can restart this game. Great. We got a stall here while River is peeling a banana. You can tell he's just gotten up for this, and I appreciate that a lot. It's great in general that we can have 7 players from like 4 different continents get up at this hour to play and compete together in a for fun online tournament. That is just great and very wholesome, as I think. Alright then, without further stalling, here we go, jumping into the match. Oops. Don't tell me it's frozen. Oh no, it should be fine. It should be fine. I just mixed something up. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Game 12 of the tournament. The series is 2-1 in favor of Team Obi. Both teams fielding their best possible lineups, and this is going to be an absolutely magnificent game. And this is huge early information for Reptech. I don't think he's quite noticed the enemy to his south yet. But if he is paying really close attention, he can actually just barely make out the Egyptian border there to his south. So that would be massive if he saw that at the edge of his vision there. That would be absolutely big for his team because he's the Aztecs. He can definitely put in the work early if they feel like that's the move for them. And terrible news, of course, for Riva, who ends up going a different direction initially, and that might come to cost him. Luckily for him, at least, he is able to he's going to be able to secure horses relatively easy in this one, I believe. We'll see if he's going to be given trouble by Repdeck here early on. I hope the setup is all looking fine. Alright, as I notice, my commands are again a bit messed up here. Let me maybe fix them before the game really begins, so we can have some more accuracy there. Matchup. Exactly, Team Anti is not playing today. There we go. This looks a bit better. I hope this is fine then. Interesting. So teams apparently not quite sure how this map is laid out yet. It looks like they're not really in agreement as to what to expect where. So this is going to be interesting. Tal saying that he's expecting the map to lead north. That's valuable intel for these guys who apparently aren't able to Discord screen share, at least not everybody on their teams, it seems. So, like BC5 is really the middle, is what he's saying. All right, that might be, and that is actually really accurate there. Good estimation by Towel, and that is, again, that is just massive information for Riva to have. We'll see what he's going to be able to make of it. Redback now also getting that first Jaguar out. That's, of course, the first kind of action we're likely to get in this game, is when those Jaguars start mingling with someone. Just luckily for Riva, Redback hasn't spotted that small yellow. That's really just unfortunate for him that his opponent has picked Egypt, and the yellow color is so difficult to make out on the edge of his vision here. I think if it was purple maybe. Uh, oh wow! Now never mind. Redback just now able to spot that border, and he makes an immediate turn south for the Egyptians. He's just, yeah, just barely noticing that one. That is huge, and Riva still not on that time north, so he can't even get that same advantage yet. He doesn't even have that vision yet. However, he is moving in the general right direction to be able to spot that Jaguar sometime soon, hopefully for him. And it looks like, oh yeah, there we go. Hot is popped. And we see contact made between the first two members of Team Obi. Obi on his Japanese. Again, he's the only player in the tournament that is actually favoring that Civ and picking it, and relatively early too. He picked it, as you guys saw, in the second rotation of picks of this draft, as Raptor's Jaguar is nearly taken out here, is rewarded, however, with the promotion. So I think he'll take that trade. An early veteran Jack is nice to have, although packing a bit of a weaker punch for the time being now. Towel getting those Enkidu out. He's not in the greatest position, I would say. He's actually in the worst position to rush somebody from on this map. Obi and Towel, they're opposite from each other in the builder positions, as I would describe them. And Riva, luckily for him, buying himself some time, or being bought some time by the Barbarian Assault onto Redback's Jaguar. That's going to buy him a couple of valuable turns, and he's going to be able to get some more vision around his land and going to be able to stabilize here early on. Looks like no contact quite yet made between the two Rivas here, the southwest, but that just changed within a heartbeat, rather. Both of them now meeting each other, and it's pretty clear Riva's starting to get an idea of where potential enemies could be at. He's now found Persia just south of Halu, so if they put the puzzle together, then maybe they're able to piece it together that the two opponents have got to be north of them, and I think Towel's already suspecting that, judging from his earlier messages. There we go, Raptor's Jaguar now fully healed up. Those two turns on that forest healing up have definitely cost him some early momentum here, and I think that's great news for Reba, who otherwise might have been struck by a unpleasant visitor here from the north. Although now he has also moved that Merca north. I, however, don't believe that he's just quite been able to spot the border of the Aztecs there. Would of course have been huge if he had gotten that info, but I don't think he's quite been able to spot that one. As Raptor's now gonna start moving in here. They are meeting each other now, so at least now Riva's well aware of what's going on. Let's see if he can maybe outspeed Redback onto the hill. It doesn't look like he's going to try, and that is a great aggressive position, excuse me, for the Aztecs. At least Reaver gets a heads-up warning here, so good news for him. Redback now with the barracks done. Great route here actually enables him to get down very quickly into the south here. Otherwise the terrain very unfriendly to double move there. I don't think he's quite planned that out, but he's actually got the ideal tile road, enabling him to 1, 2, 3, 4 turn move into Thebes. That is pretty effective, pretty efficient terrain manipulation there. And I wonder what Riva's gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna, as I thought, retreat with those warriors, trying to cover up at home. I thought might want to block that hill, but I don't think he's got that many extra warriors to be able to afford that. Let me check actually if I can now get that last spy out. Redback's the last one missing. Finally. Alright, so now we can get intel from everybody. We needed 5 warriors there from Reba. It's a good decision. Send 1 out to Persia. Got 4 at home. So he's decently secure. However, those Jaguars presumably are gonna keep coming here as Rebek prepares his double move. Not gonna catch anybody out here, I don't think, immediately. But we see he actually takes the flip for the worker. Nicely done here. It looks like he's gonna get that disband off in time. And Riva, he now even gets outsped here. That is just the worst possible scenario for him. He loses that 1v1, of course, that promotion, as I mentioned earlier, the promotion from the Barbs coming in clutch for Rabdag. Wins that one and gets the disband off. So Riva starting off on the back foot here. He's gonna need that second worker now. Luckily for him, he doesn't need a second city in order to be able to secure those forces. That would have been terrible now at this point. He can afford to build somewhat early a second worker, I think, if he really needs that GA. But we'll see that. Obi now also being faced with the Sumerians for the first time. And there we go, Tenochtitlan at the typical size 3 threshold. Everybody wants real quick in the chat. Burn cap. Oh, alright. Looks like they're contemplating about giving GA over to the Sumerians. I wonder. Rabdag, yeah, dedicating that cap burn. I thought so. He's always so thoughtful in enabling me to use those emotes. I wonder what Rabdag's gonna do with those jacks. He's just chilling so far. Rabdag claiming that's probably his first cap burn of the tourney so far. Can we get some fact check on this? There we go. GA given to Sumeria by Obi. So that is 2 city GA for Samaria. I think that's decent, but being that they're in the best builder spot of their team, maybe that is not actually ideal. However, I want to point out that Halu, he is next to 2 enemies, but the Aztecs seem to be fully focused on pressuring Riva. I think it would have been a good decision to by now send a few jacks over there towards Halu, at least in case they know that Halu is actually there. I think they only now found out about that. So that would have been an important piece of information to have, as in comes the double move onto Kyoto. Actually, Obi was preparing to reinforce Osaka, but he's playing on very low unit amounts apparently at home right now. Meanwhile, Riva actually getting pressured now from Archriver too. I think that is primarily to establish Con with the Rabdag, I think. Could be wrong, could be that they're actually trying to choke him out, but no, it seems that rather Archie was trying to stabilize at home. He's now, of course, also going to try and get that iron, which he's already secured by putting a warrior on it. A very decent spot for him. And incredible look right here. Check this out. Halu planting across river, but having both sides roaded here. Never seen him play so safe in the tourney as in come the Jacks now. Also paying a small visit here to Sumer. He gets the hit off and it's going very great for him. Just barely loses out, and I think there was only 1 unit in there. Sigh of relief for Towel as he almost lost that one. Coming up clutch in crunch time here, that Enkidu, and that would have been Towel, by the way. Towel is the one who suggested in the lobby that somebody would die within the first 10 turns. Let us check out which turn we're on. Turn 15, so not quite, but he actually almost cursed himself there. Very even score across the board here. Interesting. No con claimed by Riva. Alright, gets the first unit taken out with his archers, and I think he's quite content with the start that he's got. I like Rabdag now transitioning the pressure over to Sumeria a bit, as the pillage has gotten off here actually on Kyoto. So decent job by Towel doing some early damage there. Chop here, I think that's probably going to be a barracks in Kyoto, and the barracks into Samurai for his own GA is what I'm expecting out of Obi there. What we gotta see, could be wrong there. And yeah, Obi now reaffirming that GA call. I hope for Child's sake he's gonna be better he's going to be able to better shield himself against those Jags. A simple Enkidu wall would probably do the trick there, but could also just put 2 Enkidu on every tile that he needs to keep. A bit thin here for the time being, but nobody really able to move in, so that should be fine for Towel. So Raptag still just chilling there, and I don't think he ever made con with archery. I actually think they were one tile with out of sight from each other, which is quite unfortunate. However, oh, that thought as I'm checking over here. Looks like no. Well, that's some very early chariots for the Aztecs. A one city chariot. I wonder what the idea is. I think the idea is pretty clear. They want to go as early as possible towards the Iroquois. Archery was gonna start rolling up there with 2 cities and maybe with 10 immortals and 10 horsemen. They're gonna try and take out Halu is what I think they're gonna do. However, I just noticed that Halu's made another settler, I believe. Let me check out his unit count. There we go. He's got another settler already as Raptag moves in into Salamanca. Is that city potentially susceptible to a kill? He goes for the hit onto the worker of all things, but Halu with the lightning quick reinforce. Looks like Salamanca was adequately defended, so good job by Halu. He's not greeting in this one. Some very uncharacteristic playstyle here, one might say, for the captain there. He's really trying to keep this team in the series. Appreciate that effort that he's putting in. And let's see if he can build up with the Iroquois. I do believe that he's going to be double teamed very early on here. So it's going to be on Riva and Towel to put on pressure on one of their enemies so that Halu's not just going to be overrun. He's the only aggri on this map, so he's probably slowly but surely going to start pulling ahead and score. Sumeria also typically a rather good scoring civ, but we'll see how they'll do with that. I think the score isn't the biggest concern right now. Halu gets that kill on the Jaguar. That is extremely big. He can now re-establish that line of sight here, getting very good sentries here, and he just needs one more unit over here or something, and that would do the trick in terms of vision for him in this game. So I wonder, Raptech now trying to ask for goal. Yeah, I think the play is yeah, he's Obi's still busy with map making, I think. Them not being on Discord probably is why they're gonna do map making. Otherwise, I don't think they'd really need it, especially not that early in the Hunger Games tournament. Remember, a lot of people were actually skipping map making and not even checking it throughout the entire game. So that I don't really have seen that be done in this tourney until now. Out goes Riva, loses another combat out of Thebes. He seems to think twice about it, doesn't re-hit here, and Raptag now able to retreat. Maybe Towel can catch him out there with the Enkidu. I would actually like to see him try for that. Raptag, I forgot to mention, of course, has been in GA for quite a while. He's probably been the first one to GA here. And other than him, only Sumeria has done the same. Looks like Riva at least gets that hill back. He's slowly but surely getting there. He's not gotten another workout yet, sadly, so those horses are going to be delayed a bit. And again, I'm just emphasizing this because I expect Raptag and Oshriver to go for another one of their patented extremely early double teams. So we saw that against Kismek actually when he was playing Persia. We saw that early Gallic stack from Archriver. I don't agree with that Spearman here by River. I wonder what that's going to be used for. Maybe just to secure his horses once he puts the worker there. Don't think that Spearman is really worthwhile at this point, unless he's expecting something specific. However, let me finish that thought. And we remember that game where Kismet was playing Persia, Boogie was playing Sumeria, and Raptech was on Hittites. Actually, it was the first Hittite game of this tournament. Raptech with the Hittite, combining his stack with the Galax from Archriver and trying to take out Kismet. Wasn't successful in that game, but maybe here against Halu it could work. He's planted across river twice now. And he's the Iroquois. He's not a great defensive civ, although of course he's gonna be quite strong here, simply in terms of productivity. We'll see if he can, with stand that I think he's gonna need in order to survive a push like that. He's gonna need some pressure on the enemy from his teammates, I would assume. As again, Reptek tries for the end of turn move there, but quickly enough able to retreat once more onto the Gem Mountain. Now again, I would like to see Sumeria try and punish that. Towel has not gone for the hit on the Iron Jaguar. And yeah, actually maybe with the healing coming in, that wouldn't have been a great decision either way. He's just making more Enkidu and spamming them up north. I wonder what the intent is. I believe he's going to try and choke out the Aztecs because they are not even trying to put up a warrior wall at home. They're not defending that at all here, so they are very susceptible to Enkidu spam. I think 2 or 3 more wouldn't hurt there on Repdeck. We'll see if that's what Towel is thinking too. Nobody has checked out this little passageway in the east so far, but that's fine. Maybe it'll come clutch later on in the game. However, this being a ocean probably leads many people to think that there's not going to be a land bridge around. No GA yet for the Egyptian side is completely accurate, as maybe a worker could be in danger here for Rabdag if Towel gets the move off. Is he going to try for it? It doesn't look like it. He's being very hesitant here and not actually taking the move there. There we go. It looks like Raptek just simply clears him out of there without even yeah, being in danger of the of losing that worker at all. Wonder what Tao was doing there. Maybe he was debating it in his head whether to go for the worker, whether to go onto the hill. Maybe he wanted to save his Enkidu for a double move. Or maybe he had just double moved onto the tile, but I don't think he did. I think he was already there last turn, so uh, maybe a bit of an overthinker there. Ink spam coming to me, he says, as that might well be true. He sees the endless chain of Sumerians marching north. I wonder what the play is going to be here. He's now starting to pull up that wall. That's a great decision here, a bit delayed, but of course he has the time. He had the vision necessary. So we'll see how effective Tal is going to be able to be as another oh no, the Spearman's just there to ward off the Jaguar attacks that keep coming in here periodically. So a decent idea there by Reva to maybe just block that off and shut down those periodic raids. Persia declaring war on Iroquois. Alright, so looks like, yep, Archriva clearing out the warriors in his land. Just trying to, he's got that settler in Persepolis. There he goes, exactly. He's trying to hook that iron, and he's gonna get that pretty soon. I think, again, that should be a warning to Halu that Persians are trying to get that iron, and they're trying soon. It looks like already horsemen upgraded here. Chow also contemplating that early horse tech. Wonder how that's gonna turn out. Looks like a bunch of warriors available for Obi already as that. Look at this chain, dude. That's just amazing. The line of lemmings waddling into their demise, potentially. Finally, the worker comes out for Riva, though, so he's gonna get that. Oops, he's gonna get that chariot stacking going reasonably soon as well, I would expect. And same thing. Oh, there we go. Just saw that in the corner of my eye. Halu actually moving out with the settler. The fourth city already primed to be planted there, but I can't blame him. He's really been diligent this time around, setting up that defensive ring of units, so he'll know if anything's coming his way, barring a boating attack, of course. OP having tech making and having that coastal city now is a potential threat via the seas. All right, yeah, Reva making that call. He doesn't see any more jacks, so we know that either Raptek is building up the biggest Jaguar stack of all time, or he's up to something else because he hasn't made a second city. I'm not sure I really agree with that. He's got decent enough land to make 2 or 3 cities work, but it's really not what he's interested in. And if his military play that he's preparing here, evidently, does not pay off, it is well possible that he will end up just costing his team in score to a really considerable degree, as finally we see the patented Halu non-roaded plans, although this one is absolutely justifiable. 3 workers already, and he's not even interested in hooking that horse yet. Interestingly, I think it is a good decision to hook it early, even if you're not going to start building chariots. I think what he's clearly doing is preparing for more cities. He probably wants to get another plant off over here. But I think simply hooking those horses puts your opponent on a timer because you never knows when you're actually going to start stacking, and presumably is going to overrate your horse stack and be more scared than he would necessarily have to. So actually, I think just hooking them early just to have the option, it would be a decent choice for him as well. Uh, Not sure what he's saying, but I guess he just got cleared out of there, so he can't really doesn't have tabs on that Halu horse anymore. Obi now starting to save some money. He's not India, but he's got 3 cities, and finally Rapek also making another one. Still longing for more gold, wants to upgrade as many chariots as possible. And Archery, of course, also gonna need quite some gold himself. He's not hooked that iron just yet, but let's check him out. How many warriors does Persia actually have? Quite a few, so it's really gold that's gonna be the threshold, or not the threshold, the hurdle? Is that? Nah, that sounds stupid. So it sounds like something a kindergartner would say. But I think it is. I think it's actually the word. Yeah, watch me learn English in real time. So the hurdle for him is gonna be uh, the the gold here much more than the production for warriors because he's been putting in the work in that department. Wonder how many chariots Radek's sitting on. We can check that next turn potentially. I don't necessarily agree with Tao still being on 2 cities here. I guess he's transitioned to archers out of His GA is about to end though, and he's like he's still on 2 cities, so not the greatest output with that from that GA. Look at everybody just disregarding the huts like that. As soon as there's no chance of popping settlers anymore, looks like nobody's just interested in that stuff. Sad, just sad, really. At least Halu picked his up, so good job there. Archiver can't be bothered, I guess. Looks like that's going to be his next plant. Interesting. He's still not working down towards that iron, so I guess the reason is that he doesn't even have any gold on his team anyway, so why even hook the iron if you can't upgrade anything? Just for the GA, though, it might be a good idea. Just the GA gives you more gold, right? So if you take the GA a bit earlier with just 1 immortal, then you're able to actually accrue more gold for the next upgrade is something I'm thinking. Maybe that could be the strategy here too, as Raptech now has got to notice that the Enkidu stream has has stopped for a while. Yeah, exactly. Let's check in with the Aztecs here. He's got a few of those 2 movers there combined with the Jaguars, right? So definitely is a threat. The attack is definitely later than I would have expected. Because as I mentioned, I thought they were actually going to be aiming for an extremely early push there onto Halu, but I think he's actually now starting to get scared here, especially of the Aztecs who have planted towards him and have been stacking horsemen. He saw that one chariot in the forest over here, so he knows that chariots are in Rabdak's wheelhouse. So he's trying to get that upgrade, I guess. He's going to colony that iron, and then he's trying to get a few swordsman upgrades just in order to be able to defend, I believe. And I don't hate that play, although with the vision that he's got, he doesn't necessarily have to be that scared just yet. Although perhaps they can double move or can just move rather quickly over there towards the Iroquois. Oh, let's actually check Obi out. It looks like he's getting pressured quite a bit here, and we don't know how many units exactly he's got. But unless there's a ton of them in Kyoto and Osaka, maybe he's got a bit, a few less than he should have at this point. Not able to wall off the Enkidu entirely. and not unlike Reptech, who's doing a great job of that so far. Yeah, Obi may be a bit short on units there. I would like to see him take his GA soon. Although actually, he's almost managed to survive the GA from the Sumerians anyway, so probably not gonna need it for these last few turns. However, I wouldn't hate his choice of actually taking one now. 3 cities is decent, and his team needs more gold, so I actually think maybe that is still the correct play there. And so Archie was also gonna plant his fourth city now, so he's not that far behind. Halu, he's just got less population across the board. Uh, we see the two guys that are kind of a bit behind in score are, are Rabdeck and Riva. Although actually no, Archery was also pretty low score because despite his city spam, he's been planting very close together and he's lost a lot of population since he's not agri. There we go, decent move by Tao, and Obi, despite getting great RNG, or well, pretty good RNG. There we go. Tries to now take him out and gets the roll here. That was close for him, but I think he got everything he wanted out of that, softening the Enkidu up with the warrior. And now taking his own GA exactly as I suggested. Pretty good play by him there. He's also been able to re-establish the road connection there earlier. Got that peasant to work. So good job by him. And Riva now with a few chariots of his own, probably just fishing for his GA here in order to really be able to get that production machinery going. That early work loss has definitely cost him because he doesn't have city spots set up and prepared right now. I wonder if anybody's going to start walking down this road once they start barbs coming out of it, but Sumeria actually already having vision of that is quite interesting. However, they don't need that passageway just right now. There we go, Raptag already moved out. He's actually moving in here end of turn, but Halu with the good sentry able to spot him, and I don't think Redback is gonna go through with this one. Maybe, however, actually if Halu is getting overly scared here, Redback might be able to put a double move off here next turn. Or was it end of last turn that he moved? Yeah, I don't even remember. It must have been. Might actually be able to pull a double move off here if he moves there, fakes an attack onto Grand River, and then moves onto Salamanca. That might be an interesting choice here, trapping the units beyond the river. But I don't think 5 horsemen are scary enough in order for that to do a whole lot. Maybe he's going to be able to at least get the Iron Colony of Halu, but at this point, the value of that has already been provided, I think. As we see Sumeria now move out as well. He's actually going for a really early horse stack. I believe he estimates Obi to be quite weak at home. However, he's got that GA going now, so Obi should be fine in that regard. Halus, or Rapdag rather, scouts the area now, tries to see what he can do with that, and even spots the next settler here. Halu, great move here, prepares for the hit just as Rapdag moves in. I'm not sure he actually got that hit off, but now it might be Rapdag actually hitting into that. Yeah, and I believe. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Halu is hitting into this, so good job there by him. Defended that one pretty well. He's got a lot of swordsmen here. Actually, I didn't know they had that much gold, but Halu is definitely putting on a show right now. He's even clearing out another horseman here. It's going really, really well for him now. He's planting aggressively towards the enemies, still not missing a single river city here. Nicely done by him. That wasn't really a scary attack, but he's defended it well, and he's read it extremely nicely, actually. He spotted that one chariot, and that was the immediate. The more I think about it, the more this looks pretty close to ideal MPT play here, actually. Spotting the chariot, immediately hooking the iron as a result, getting the swordsmen, having them ready in order to counterattack the horses, and still expanding and being the biggest Sith on the board. So Halu, I really like that guy's play. So as Retriever finally pops that hut down here, I like what I see from the Iroquois here. I don't think Towel's move here is going to be much more successful than whatever Rabdeck just attempted on Halu. I was gonna say I was curious why he didn't move the Jaguars with that horse stack, but apparently needed them at home to cover. Towel not as lucky as Radbeck was before on his attempts to thrust through enemy warrior lines. I like to see those Kuras, of course. And although boats have been used way more defensively than offensively in this tourney, to my dismay. An interesting move here as well. He's gone for the super duper early upgrade. You can look at this. He's just got one mounted. He probably didn't even upgrade that. He probably just straight built that. He says, fuck the upgrade strats. Just goes straight for the mounted because he wants that GA now. And I guess he's going to try and he's so big that it doesn't really matter if he's making mounted or if he's making swordsman. Of course, mounted the way better unit in order to get kills with on paper. But if you've got the same amount of swordsmen in the enemy territory, they can have the same effect if you're able to overwhelm the enemy and you're that productive. So I don't hate that. Oh, be that poor guy. He's suffering the Ankh spam right now. I wonder where Towel's gonna try and move in from. Probably gonna go around west here if I had to guess. He might try for something on the Aztecs. That is a decent idea. As did I miss any end of turn moves? It seems I did. Wow, really nicely timed move there by Redback, and he gets rewarded with great RNG. Reva losing all those war chariots he was trying to get his GA from. Really nicely done there by Redback, honestly, on the forest, and he's quickly enough able to protect that horseman as well. Poor luck there for Reva, of course, but still nicely done by Reptech after all. I still believe that Tau might be able to achieve something on the Aztecs, but the terrain just isn't that great to double move in on them. So actually might just have no other choice than to go for the move on Japan. Tao's saying the same thing now, but he just doesn't have an angle to double move with. And he actually seems to be committed now, though, for the Aztecs. So we'll see if he's gonna go through with that as Riva loses that last war chariot as well, I believe. Unfortunate for him. Like to see that from Halu though. Gets a galley out. Naval pressure always decent. Maybe some archer, swordsman, anything in there. Could also just be for vision, but wouldn't usually expect the boat to be sent out empty. The veterans have always told me to never send out an empty boat. As Raptag apparently goes for another surprise attack on Suma, gets that Enkidu surprisingly low once more, but this time around there was reinforcement available and in time as well. Looks like, yeah, Archery were also spotting that mounted. I'm not sure where he saw that. Where did he see Halu's mounted, actually? I'm curious. Huh. Did he kill one, maybe? Don't think so. Maybe he somehow saw it move into Cataraugus. Maybe Halu fortified it there, and that's what gave it away. Raptex still trying to move forward there with united forces able to push back against Reva's units. And that is a big problem right now for Halu's team. They're losing a lot of priority in this area. No vision there. All right. Obi here praying it very patiently, waiting for those disbands to come through. I love to hear it. I wonder how Towel's gonna play this one though. He can't double move onto any of these cities. So I'm really unsure. Where is he gonna... He can't double move, so yeah, he's just gonna have to take his time with the... Oh. Oh, he's faking onto Japan. That's it then. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good call out by Obi, of course, that this horse stack could be hitting either of them. It's not a huge one, of course. We see. I wonder if Redback's gonna respect it. He'd probably have to do it because he doesn't really have much else to do right now. It's really gonna be on Halu here. None of his teammates have immense kill pressure right now, although Reva's probably patiently building up units now. I just think they're probably lacking gold. And actually, no, Reva's not. He's building warriors, alright. Looks like he's maybe also aiming for a swordsman upgrade, actually, but Yeah, he's not getting that iron as he just stated himself. So I believe both teams severely lacking in gold, and Halu's team much more so than Obi's, because Obi's now been saving for a while there with these Japanese, I believe. So gotta see. Would have been nice if they swapped luck. I do agree, a Builder Egypt would have been quite nice in this one. There we go. End of turn move by Towel, but Rebdeck now able to block it off. And this is going to be tough to get through there for Sumeria. Looks like this Spearman is tanking a lot of units. Wow, that's been costly for Towel simply to just get through this Spearman and Archer. Yeah, he's lost a lot of units in that already. So decent trade by Rebdeck. Very nice shield value he got there, and now just 1-for-1 here with these Jaguars. It's not the most efficient trade, but he's now able to counter hit a bit, maybe even able to get a great leader here eventually, but nicely done. And Towel's stack here really not able to accomplish a whole lot. We'll see. He's still just getting units on over to Obi, but it's looking a bit desperate here right now. He's exposing himself quite a bit, and Obi is ready for that counter attack, as he's previously said. Persia declaring war on Aztecs means that Archie was just taking his GA down there. And same thing for Halu, apparently, in the northeast. Somewhere must have gotten a kill, although I don't quite see. Well, it might have just been a random unit up north, but not sure why Archery would have been there. Anyhow, Obi is sensing that the Sumerians are on their last legs here offensively, so I expect him to start that road very soon. And with Japan, you can really get down to the enemy very quickly in this situation. Rebdeck trying for the great leader here, doesn't get it, although, no, actually that probably just was a veteran. There he goes with the elite, no great leader, but gets that. Oh, that's not the place you want to move to. That oh no, never mind. It is. There's just the Enkidu sitting there. Fair enough. And yeah, gets a 1-for-1 trade again, but of course you don't want to 1-for-1 trade Jaguar Warriors into Horsemen. That's just terrible shield value. So poor Towel really not in a position to get a whole lot done this one. Should have probably done a few more cities there. Actually, is what I'm thinking. Also curious that they're not taking out this Jaguar. If Reva just rode it north of his cap, he could just at any point double move this tile. And in that case, Replag would probably just give it up. But that is such a big tile in terms of vision and just denying that iron that I think it's not quite explicable to me why they're not making a push for it at all. Not even the Sumerians, of course, trying to reassemble his forces here, but he's almost been entirely cleared out of Japan. So Town not with a lot of options left there. He's healing there. That's exactly it. Persia still beating up at home. He's looking quite scary there. He's been left alone the entire game. However, the hope for Team Halu is going to be that their captain is going to be able to overpower the opponent's well, second tier player. So maybe Halu is just going to be able to create a gap there in the west. That would be the hope for his team, because Egypt and Sumer are looking quite impotent here in terms of kills. It's just not a favorable map for them, I would say. Backline Sumeria and then Egypt being right next to the Aztecs was quite unfortunate. Didn't get to build up anything there. Needs that GA really soon, or otherwise just gonna get overwhelmed. We saw Persia take their GA here, so Persia is gonna be strong, whereas the Egypt just turtling here for a bit, but not in the traditional sense of the word. Just building up slowly is what I mean by that in this regard. Alright, we see Halu, his galley has wrapped around here. Let's see. Actually goes for the unload this turn. Good thing I paid attention. Gets 2 swordsmen landed. Obi gets notified by the barbs here probably. Let's see Halu actually doesn't go for the hit. Interesting. He's brought two swordsmen, but doesn't feel like that is a gamble worth taking. Maybe just announcing himself over there and planning to retreat. I don't know what the exact idea is. All right, Riva now looking for that jack. Again, he with that road it would be easier, but it would also alert Red Deck to the fact that they are trying for this. So end of turn move is also good enough. If Red Deck isn't prematurely waking up that Jaguar, Riva's gonna get that one every time. Can just move out of Thieves end of turn and then quickly as the turn flips, double tap 6 in order to get to go get him to go right. Surely 3 war chariots is enough, is famous last words, but I would agree that that's supposed to be enough at least. So we're starting to extend that road down south. Good control here by Tao. He's been able to again establish priority over Aztecs, but he doesn't have the power in the pocket to actually take them out, is what I think. Finally, Riva able to get that one. Doesn't lose a unit this time around, and he's going to be happy with that. 3 CDGA. He's now able to finally build up a few units. However, I think it is a bit late, and we can see that in score. He's on the same score as the Aztecs, building up almost symmetrically to them. And yeah, so he's on the same score as Aztec. Let's compare Sumer and Japan. 3 score edge for Team Halu. And then in the West, we've got a 7 score edge. So we've got a 10 score advantage for Halu's team. That is decent. They're going to take that. It's not huge, considering that they're 1 versus 0 ag. And just a fun fact, in games in this tournament where one team has one more aggressive than their opponent, that team has won 3 out of 4 games. So statistically, Halu's team is favored here. Yeah, Rabdeck maybe fearing a triple team by Egypt Sumer and Iroquois, although I'm not sure Halu is actually trying for that direction, but it might possible. It might be a possible angle here. However, taking out the opponent in the middle of the map is always a bit dicey when you're gonna have to try and defend afterwards. Riva now extending his influence in all directions here, also clearing out the Persian sentry on that hill. Maybe just wants to keep his options open as to where he's gonna go. Archery, but gotta be wary. He is in a 1v2, so he can't just move out with Immortals. Because, yeah, the Egyptians could be there in no time if he actually ended up going north. And same thing as if he went east, then Halu's quite scary army could start approaching him as well. And with all those guys being 2 movers, he really is on the defensive here. Can't really, doesn't have agency on that front, right? Even if he had the bigger stack than both of them, he can't just commit to either one because the horses are just that more mobile and could then, yeah, flank him or hit him at home, so to speak. Not that much gold left for Team Halu, it seems. I believe Riva's still looking maybe for a swordsman upgrade. Potentially he's got a couple of warriors and that iron is now sitting there unprotected. I don't think anybody's formulated a concrete offensive plan other than Obi so far as we can see. Halu's units have been cleared out or picked up by that galley again. I'm not sure which one is true. We'll see about that. Yeah, Obi, that's what I said. Obi's the only one who's really formulated a concrete offensive plan. Very bold forward plan here, maybe just to establish priority in the north and protect Rabdag a bit too. It's gonna be that much scarier to now try a play for Tenochtitlan or anything. Interesting, looks like we were really gunning for a few swordsmen here. It's gonna be very helpful on defense too, so makes sense. Halu's boat still wrapping around. That's cute. Even wow, even the border expand in Antioch. Did they tech literature or what? Must be a library then, Antioch. Otherwise, you could have, of course, just gotten a temple out there. So not sure, but Interesting. Goes for the border expand. Decent play always in your border cities to get that culture building. Helps a lot with defending when you've got the bigger sphere of influence. Interesting. So, hey, looks like Obi, nice job here. Actually, now engaging in that naval warfare. Nice job there. Now naval priority for his team. Archer will deal with that very small investment of one cuirass safe against Egypt's boats. Alongside this warrior there, just has full knowledge of what's going on and what Rivers doing there. Border expand in Memphis too, but of course Egypt is religious, so that it's no big surprise there with the temple coming through. Halu probably now preparing to move south. He is showing those units to Arch River a bit earlier than he necessarily had to, but that doesn't seem to be all that important. Still's got some units wandering around east, so Rebek was right. He would have been an attractive target for a three-man or even a two-man gang up, as Allegheny is burning for what feels like third time this game, not sure. And oh, there we go. Finally, we get another burn cap. Oh man. Oh, poor Lip. I just see him. Uh, Lib now here. We were talking about it doing a potential home gang today, but of course that would have had to take place before the tourney match, so couldn't get it in as Lib wasn't home yet. So that's fine. Well, maybe we'll get that across the next couple of days or potentially even after this game. We'll see about that. If I'm not terribly tired, I'm open to doing it because I'm on a way looser schedule these days. All right, there we go. Finally, it looks like a plan has been established here. Those two move specialists, as they said before in the game in the lobby, it's Team Horses versus Team Swords. And Team Horses apparently trying to gun for the Aztecs soon, as we get another burn cap this time in Thieves. Interesting. Towel assessing the situation as I think very accurately here. Uh, Japan is pretty strong. He's lost barely anything here in this entire game, whereas the Aztecs have spent a lot of units, and I think Obi's team wouldn't mind that much if they traded Rabdag for either Egypt or preferably, of course, Iroquois. That would be definitely game deciding if Halu ended up trading one for one for Rabdag there. For anybody really, he's got to stay alive in this one, I believe. Again, maybe taking a quick look at the score, he's 6 score above his opponent. Riva and Rabdag 2 apart, meaning 4 score edge, and still the 3 score edge in the east. So that's probably gonna narrow in the next couple of turns too. So the scoring lead is still in Halu's hand, but it is dwindling, and he's now recommitted his deck, it seems. Cut out August, sending units east now, so maybe they are actually gonna try and double team Rabdak at home. He is pretty exposed, so decent chances there, but the question is that worthwhile, and can they make good use of it? Especially if Obi is getting big in the east. Maybe if Egypt is fully committing for the Aztecs, then Obi could even be able to take out two people here in the east if he's gotten massive enough. It's really difficult to tell how strong he is. We see Egypt not a lot of military there. We got Sumeria is also, as you can see, not of any use offensively, and Japan, as a comparison, much bigger threat there. Look at this pure force of archers. It's not quite big enough to force his way into Samaria, but it is definitely a threat to Egypt and potentially lethal too. Let's see how well Halu and Rivas are going to be able to coordinate that attack. We'll see what they end up going for. Tlatelolco and Teotihuacan looking like the obvious targets. Those walls by Halu, by Raptec, of course, decent idea. I wonder how they're gonna do that. I really do, because this is an interesting one. Now they probably do have kill pressure here, although it's definitely far from a sure thing, as they don't have the scariest stacks ever, and Halu has split his investment a bit, as you can see. Although, well, the swordsman stack isn't as big as I initially thought. He's also not committed all his mounted to this attack. Looks like they are looking to do it this turn, however. Wonder how they're going to do it. I think without cutting a road, they might not be able to get it through, although maybe I'm underestimating the attack of mounted warriors a bit here. That are quite a few of them, so maybe they're actually likely to win this one if they went for it. But I want to see how it goes. And if Halu is taking that kill, that would be a dangerous game to play, especially since Persia is now gearing up in the south. And if Persia with Obi started moving for him, that could be a big problem. In comes the move from both Riva and Halu. Let's see how they do this. Maybe Halu hitting first, and hoping for Riva to take them out. We'll see how that one goes. Riva apparently now starting off the attack onto Tlatelolco. Rabdak is reinforcing, I imagine, out of Teotihuacan, out of the road between Cap and that city. Halu now able to get the first road, gets onto the second one. I don't think Rivas got many more units to hit with, and Redback now temporarily able to reopen up that road. Halu trying to take it back. Is he gonna go for the stack attack next, or how are they gonna decide to play this one out? No two defense units, no swordsmen reinforcing this attack, so it's difficult to tell how exactly they're gonna be doing this. They aren't able to hold on for a long time here onto the tile onto the tiles that they are gaining with this attack. So so far it's not going that great, and we see the road was crucial there. And there's still a few units left, but Redback is doing a great job of holding on so far. Maybe they could do a little switcheroo here. I expect Halu to move all mounted onto the mine here and try for something, but it's not. That doesn't end up happening, and the start of the turn concludes. Still, the road not getting blocked. They are maybe dropping the ball here a little bit, finally getting that pillage off. Good decision to bring in the swordsman too. Maybe he's gonna be able to get that one on the road. That would be quite effective at holding on to it. Looks like he's retaken it, but probably out of the moves already with this swordsman, it looks like. He's losing a lot of mounted warriors in this exchange, however. And it'll be tough to take out any one city with this Raptag, even feeling comfortable enough to hit out of Tlatelolco into this stack. And if this attack truly fails, that is a huge investment below for Team Halu. Whereas Obi's still gearing up in the east, still turning up the pressure on the Sumerians, who are trying to hold on to the important tiles, but eventually are gonna inevitably get roaded up too. Especially with the double threat onto Egypt too. Japan very unique in that regard. Not gonna be easy to defend. How's Halu gonna end up playing this? Another archer out of Teotihuacan. That is a scary one to behold. The Raptag is getting nervous here at least, so maybe they're gonna be able to do something as they double through. Are they gonna go for cap, or what is gonna be the meta here? It's difficult to know what exactly they're going for. I assume maybe cap, maybe Teotihuacan is what they're looking at, but again, the move is a bit thrown. Is a bit slow rather, and they're kind of blocking each other off here. It looks like Raptag is holding on here. He's been fully pillaged, but there's no more reinforcements coming from Halu, so I do think for the time being, despite big efforts here by Team Halu, Raptag's done a decent job, and none of his cities look exceptionally weak. Well, Teotihuacan now showing a bit of weakness there, but it was extremely difficult for Halu and Riva to tell which cities he could be able to uh, they could be able to force down. It looks like Raptag didn't expect that to go that well for him entirely. And look at this, it looks like, yeah, that's a massive stack for archery. But does Halu have any archers? Not a ton. A lot of archers in there. I'm not sure Halu is going to be able to deal with this one if Archriver is acting confidently here. I don't see Halu defending this one. That could be the game deciding move right there, as the Persians are attacking into Cattaraugus, and there's no hesitation at all. A lot of units still in the backline cities for Halu, so I don't see him surviving this one. However, it looks like he's 8. Wow, where is that archer stack? Did Halu attack into this end of turn? That's the only way I could see it melt that quickly. If he did, crazy RNG that he actually ends up killing so many. I wonder how many units he used to hit that. But incredible. He actually just, it looks like he didn't even break a sweat there. Completely decimates that entire stack. And that were a few immortals, but a ton of archers, most importantly. And look at this, Persia has lost a lot of stuff there. I wonder. I wonder what this is. Both teams probably taking a bit of a hit in morale here. Probably, yeah. So I think the strongest military might on the continent right now is probably Japan. Raptech defended here, of course. He's quite weak at home, and the Iroquois, they didn't fully commit for this attack, but still they lost a lot in that defense, I would imagine, too. What are we gonna do though? We're in the last 18 turns of the game, and it is still quite close in terms of score. Obi slowly gaining a few inches in that contest, but he's not the clear victor in that endeavor. However, he's got the peasants, so he can at any point. I want to point this out because people don't realize this. He can at any point move his peasants onto this tile, road it, and then double move through into Elephantine at any point during the turn from as far as back as this mine right here that you can see right there. Good decision by Tao to block it. And it looks like people are starting to contemplate going for score on this one. I didn't expect this to be a map that would come down to score, because definitely lots of kill angles here. People not terribly close to each other, but definitely the angles were there. It's a little bit, it's not an open map, but a weirdly shaped one where there's a lot of directions to defend against. However, these guys have done a great job here. It can't be, and it's not for no reason that this is the top match of the group stage so far. 6 elite players on the map, and Halu now maybe he actually got some confidence of that attack onto Aztecs, who are now weakened, and that defense against the Persians. He probably now thinks that this is his time to retaliate and strike back against somebody. However, it's going to be difficult to get anywhere without being seen. So where is he gonna go? It looks like Obi has committed his stack out, and that's a lot of 2 attack units. It is, however, possible that the Sumerians do have enough Enkidu's to deal with this. The problem is I don't see Obi going for Sumeria. I expect him to much rather try and take out Egypt, because he knows Sumeria is gonna be costly. How many Enkidu are available there? Yeah, I think if Towel defends effectively, he's going to be able to survive this one, but Riva might not be so lucky. So it's going to be on Tao to try and delay the move through from the Japanese into Egypt as long as possible. Looks like Halu is taking a long route around here, trying to not show his units to the sentries there by Artriver. We'll see where he's gonna go with this in the end. Could still go for Rabdak too, but I don't think so. He doesn't want to get recaptured by Obi, at least not as easily as that. Are there any boats going around? Doesn't look like it. Obi just on the defensive here. He's fully committing to his overland stack. Is this where Japan is gonna shine? They took a very nicely timed GA. They held on a lot without losing any units pretty much. He's dealt with that defense very effectively and, well, very efficiently, I should say. And he's now at the point in the game where he can start roading up to people, and that is what his Civ excels at. And we can see his clear plan right here. He wants to get through to Egypt. Can Tau block this one? It would be big for him to be able to do that. However, maybe Obi is actually getting baited a little bit here, because he could just road this tile, of course, this forest tile, but he wants to desperately make use of his special worker unit. So, yeah, if a normal Civ would just walk onto this forest and maybe try to road that and double move through here. But Obi really wants to pull that move off over the flat land. I think he's got enough units in order to force the move through this land, through this forest. So maybe that would be more effective. However, I might be wrong too. If he actually moved there and took a couple of turns to road it, that might be dangerous for him, because he's risking losing that worker stack to the Egyptians trying to capture it. Or if he's really defending it with a lot of units, he's then risking getting killed out of from the south and losing ground at Satsuma, losing his road there potentially. So actually he might not have the means in order to road through the forest, might actually rely on getting this BG. And I think he's going to take it end of turn. He's going to brute force through with that. Tal's defense is looking like it's about to get broken. Everybody now trying to get the max out of their luxury slider. Looks like Team Obi way quicker on that. Although actually no, reverse of course on Team Halu too. I wonder. Zuma is blocking it out. Really nice defense by Tal. He realizes what's on the line here. And Obi is not able to get through here. He's even opened up that tile. I want to see Sumeria move on to it. Finally, Obi gets through here. He doesn't get the road though, so difficult to get that one off. Wonder what Halu's really planning to do. I think he's gonna go for Rabdak here. Maybe with a boat out of Elephantine, River could even join in there. I don't think it was a realistic way for Tau to defend this, and luckily for Obi there was no defense bonus on this tile, so he might not even have lost that many units, considering the raw amount of Enkidu that he's had to defeat there. But good job by Tau, eating a lot of units and buying his teammates some time. The attack way more telegraphed now than it would ideally be when you got Japan. And look at these peasants here, these enslaved peasants. Looks like Obi got great value out of his UU actually. He's farming the barbs that keep streaming over from there. Would have actually been well worth for Tal to send a chariot on over there and clear those barbs out. He knew that there's barbs coming from there. So had he cleared those out, that might have been a great decision to actually deny those peasant workers from Obi. It would have been a 5-head play that he sadly didn't think of, which I probably wouldn't have either. But those peasant workers, those slave peasant workers, are quite effective too. I see what Obi's saying. Now he's getting his own trouble with the money lady. And there goes Halu once more, actually looking for Rabdak. Is he gonna go for the straight up hit? He's just fortified so far. No road yet for Rabdak is crucial. I'm not sure Halu really knows that. But if he did, he probably would be hitting at this point, I would expect. Bunch of people already at 100% on the luxury slider. Let's take the score math once more. I want to get this right, so I'm pulling out the calculator. 128, 96, and 116. And the Team Halu. Team Halu is up by 5 score. This is still very much anyone's game. Incredibly close one. can't believe it here. Halu now revisiting Rabdak, but this close towards the end of the game, maybe he's gonna be able to get a kill and get away with it. However, again, Obi is able to so quickly road up to him there that it's not gonna be easy to hold on if he's not got a force to defend with. Archery at this point probably got enough archers again to threaten into Iroquois land once they fully commit over to the east. 18 mounted apparently. Thanks Rapdak for counting for us there. This is an incredibly close one, and this map is getting narrower and narrower as people start connecting their empires. Obi now, with a great effort, he's starting to whittle down these Sumerians. I wonder where all the Enkidu are at. It looks like Tau really running low on them, although the military advice I wouldn't suggest as much. The tower here is still not roaded. Maybe that's all Halu needs to know in order to get tempted to hit Tlatelolco, but it is getting late in the turn, and I don't think he's allowed to stack attack anymore, so he might have just lost his window there and missed it. Gotta see what he ends up doing. He's not going for the hit onto Tlatelolco yet, but he might try and commit for this road and go from there. Maybe getting onto it next turn, taking out the workers is what he needs. Obi, great job there. We saw that for a second. Open up the road to himself, and this is looking very bad for Tau right now. Even the worker, the slave worker, blocking the road right now. And this being so close to end of turn makes me very skeptical of whether or not Tau is going to be able to readjust for this and reinforce the city. I don't think he's going to be able to have quite enough units for that, although maybe I'm underestimating the number of archers he's got over there. I hope he's got a rite of passage with Reva, but it doesn't look like it, so he's not going to be able to move those two potentially deciding units in there. And it looks like Towel himself doesn't believe that he's going to be able to hold on in this one. The Enkidu and the archers are getting low. It looks like Obi is about to find the kill here. Is Tao able to hold on? He's got a few more units coming, but they're just not quite in range, and there he goes. Down he goes at Kish. It looks like the game is very likely to crash here. Sadly, I should have gotten a snapshot of whatever Obi lost here. That would have been crucial. Sadly, I didn't check that stack out. Oh, I do have a way of doing that though. I just gotta wait for everybody to quit so I can get the save file and check that save file. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, I'll check that one in the save files. So wow. Oh boy. Yeah, I gotta wait for everybody to quit and then I'll try getting the save files. It's so long we're gonna have to reload this one. Sorry for that one, guys. But the game is starting to pick up pace right here. Reload screen coming up. Oh no, don't quit, Obi. Fuck. Ah, he just quit on us. Ah, shit, I needed that. Ah, I should have told him, of course. If he quits, I don't get the autosave. Oh wow, is it Tuesday today? It is. Oh, so it is the Tuesday Steam drop now as well, right during our kill reload, isn't it? Oh, that is horrible timing. Oh, dang it. That is so unfortunate. How are we gonna do this one? Alright, we're gonna have to go on a short break here just because it's Tuesday and Steam is probably gonna take a while before it's getting back up. So that's unfortunate. Alright, I'll be right back then, guys. When Steam is back and available. 10-15 minutes from now, I estimate. Until then. Hello everybody. About the Whew. Um, we're still struggling here after the Steam drop. We're discussing a GG or a um yeah, we're discussing GG or reloading still because Steam is still giving us some trouble. Um, so yeah, gotta see how they decide to go about this. Shouldn't be that much longer though. I apologize, of course, for the Steam drop, but that's nothing we have real control over. Hmm. Of course, I'll let you know as soon as I get info. Alright, looks we're all in. Maybe gonna just go for the reload. Maybe for the GG, we'll see. Oh, alright, there we go. GG is given. Um, that was a big one, but it's finally concluded, and of course, a very anticlimactic ending to the stream, but not to the game, because that effectively ended with Obi's kill, putting himself on the scoreboard once more with a kill here. And that's the series as well for his team. Team Obi taking it 3-1 over Halu, just like Anti had taken it 3-1 over Obi. So now, despite the three-way tie not being possible anymore, Halu's team still incentivized to do everything they can in order to get that last win in the last game of the group stage. That's gonna take place during my next tournament stream, probably on Thursday or Friday. And it's gonna be, as I said, Halu versus Anti, game 5 to decide their series. And after that, we're gonna move on to the playoffs. So that is going to be very exciting. So, until then, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys a lot for paying attention to this tourney and to these teams. These players have earned it, staying awake as long as 1:30 a.m., getting up as early as 7 a.m., and just making time for every single match. I appreciate that a lot, and I hope that so do you. Alright then, thank you guys for one more game. Game 12 has concluded, and only one more game during the group stage. Until then.